Let's have a head-to-head between the Taylormade R7 mini driver and the PXG secret weapon. I'm going to give them both 2 shots each, and I'm going to see which one does better. Now, better to me is overall height. I don't want it to go too high. I want it to be quite driven towards the target, and distance. So there are some variables in here because this is off the rack. Apart from the grip, we've got a mid-size +4 grip, slightly bigger on the right hand, and a stock Speeder 6S. But with this head, I don't feel like I need a stiffer shaft. Normally I need a stiffer shaft because the ball gets too high and too left with something softer, because it's got a bit more bend and release into the ball, which adds off, shuts the face, and then kind of like floats the ball up a bit too much, and I need a stiffer shaft to bring it down. Because of the design of this head, I feel like I'm actually getting most of the ball flight that I'd kind of be looking for anyway, so I'm quite happy in the stock shaft here. But what has this bad boy got? Hang on, I've still got the weights in a different place from the last video. Let me just give them a fair shout. Gonna get the 2 heavier weights in the front because that gives me a little bit more ball speed and it brings that flight down a bit. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Skills. There we go. Right, start again. Yeah, that's the flight I want. I don't like seeing the ball go left. I'm quite enjoying that little forced push, which is similar to what I get with the PXG mini driver, to be fair. And here we go, one more. There we go, I got through that one quite well. I feel like with another setting or another mini driver or another driver, I would have got way more turn on that. So it's quite tame, it's quite low, I like that. First one going high and right. So Taylormade done. So slight difference, we've got 13 degrees, but I've got it on the lower, so that does sit the face a bit more open. But I've got the heavier weight in the toe and the middle, which is a slight difference between this and the R7, because the R7 is here and here, but the PXG is turned around and in a different format. So if you're trying to go low, you can go low and right or low and left. If you're trying to go high, you can go high and left and high and right. You can't quite go neutral straight. I suppose you can if you put it in there and there. It's just different. Also, we've got a slightly different shaft. We've got an X-Flex Diamana Limited 70 Plus S70. Just trying to read from the backwards screen. So it's not quite apples to apples, but they're both doing quite a nice thing. Again, in the Taylormade, I don't feel like I need it. Very different feel, very, very different feel, and harder to hit left on the R7. Straight away I've hit a draw because of the feelings I need in the Taylormade. So Taylormade on the draw setting is probably going to be quite popular for most people. Or if you're a big drawer of the golf ball, the Taylormade R7 seems to be doing a good job at holding it out. Maybe a little bit better than I thought the PXG does, judging by that one shot. Yeah, very different feel. This doesn't feel as solid. It doesn't feel as meaty. It feels a little bit more, like maybe just a little bit hollow. Right, how much can I get out of this thing? Still a good stick. And to be fair, once it's in the bag, you're not hitting one to another. You're not going, oh, that's better, that's worse. You just get used to what's in your bag. There is a difference in tone. Let's leave them all in there because I'm looking for the best one. So the best one here is carry 270 to 296. The best one here carry 270 to 293. But the averages are basically the same. Whoa, look at this. 77 peak height, 78 peak height, 31.9 landing angle, 33.8, so maybe a little bit steeper on the PXG. Nothing to grumble at. I've got a little bit more speed in the PXG, okay, fair. And I've got the Taylormade in the yellow just to the right hand side of the PXG. So it does just hold right, just that little bit easier, even in a softer shaft. Bit more speed in the PXG, okay, fair play. Not far off with the Taylormade, but very different feel. Lower spin on the Taylormade. Fair play to Taylormade. That is a decent stick. So same peak height, but just a bit more penetrating in the air because it's not going to resist as much. Slightly higher launch, slightly lower spin. 265, 265, 289, 289. Not much in it at all. I was 3.1 yards right in the R7 and 13 yards left in the PXG. Draw spin 215, draw spin 113. Hang on just a second, I take that back because I forgot that that one at the top right with a cross in it was with a different weight setting in it. So once I put the weights in the front, we actually won by a yard on the Taylormade. Makes all the difference. But that side spin suddenly becomes 69 of draw spin without that first one in different weight settings against 113. So the draw settings are quite similar. So is that one shot just poisoning it a little bit, but we do have that same difference in dispersion. So we've got slightly smaller because there's only 2 shots and there's 3 shots in this one, but definitely just hanging a little bit further right with the Taylormade. But we're looking 11 yards right and we're looking 13 yards left still. There we go. Quite similar sticks, a little bit more speed off the PXG face, but a little bit lower spin on the Taylormade. Some people need spin, some people don't need spin. Everyone's different. But jump in the comments, what do you think? Have you used one of these? And I'll see you on the next video.